This episode is the final installment of our trip to Chester, Arkansas, our stay at the Beard and Lady Inn, and our adventures at Devil's Den State Park. This is a bird's eye view of what Chester looks like. It's a small town of only about 150 people, and we've met some of the nicest people during our stay here. Today we're going to make one final trip north through the only tunnel in Arkansas to go deeper into Devil's Den State Park. I'm going to show you the beautiful suspension bridge that spans Lee Creek. We'll go on a few more hikes, including the beautiful Yellow Rock Trail, and that will show us some caves that I did not know existed and gorgeous views as we try to escape the park before sundown. Buckle up. Good morning from Chester and the Bearded Lady. We are down here on the train tracks getting some pictures of the hotel. Here's the other side. And we're watching for trains constantly because I know they're loud, but they also do come through here. You say good morning?
Good morning.
We are on our way to do some more hiking at Devil's Den. Oh, I was about to walk off a ledge. We're getting an earlier start today, so hopefully we'll get to see more interesting stuff. I know I've said it before, but the Beard and Lady Inn is such a pleasant place to stay. It has been beautifully restored and the history abounds. So if you're a history buff, you need to come here. And because of its location in Chester, it's just a short drive to Devil's Den State Park or Lake Fort Smith State Park. Today, we are headed north for our second day at Devil's Den State Park. And because of that, we get to go through the Bobby Hopper Tunnel again, which is the only tunnel for cars in Arkansas. The reason why we are coming back for a second day is because we just couldn't get it all done yesterday. If you really want to take the time to soak it all in and enjoy a place, it takes a while. If you know me, then you know I always have an ice chest of food in the back of the car, so we are having a quick picnic before we get started today. We're going for a hike. There is a bridge over Lee Creek down there that we want to see. The temperature's perfect. It's like 60 degrees. It's sunny, slightly windy, but absolutely perfect conditions for hiking. Here is the trailhead for the CCC Interpretive Trail, which we are not doing. We are on, we are? Oh, we are. But we're also going over here to the bridge. Okay, here is the trail, the CCC Interpretive Trail. So we are here, and then apparently it is just a quarter-mile easy loop. And so we're gonna see what it's all about.
And then we'll continue across the bridge to the other side.
Okay, so this is all that remains of the CCC kitchen. from the 1930s. So that's what it would have looked like on the inside. This is the root cellar where they kept some of their food items. Here are more ruins of some sort, but we don't see a plaque of any sort. I don't know what that could have been, but it goes all the way through. Clearly something used to be here. Some sort of concrete ring. A massive limb just fell out of a tree over here. I mean, we heard it crack and just bust all over the ground.
It was big enough it could have killed a child if they'd been under it.
Yeah. Would have crushed one of these cabins. I guess this is just a tunnel. This looks like a bridge. Yep, with drainage underneath. There are 16 cabins here at the state park that were 17 cabins that were built by the CCC. This is one of them. This is cabin number 17 actually, and it was used as the CCC headquarters back then.
18 actually.
Okay, maybe 18 cabins.
Originally 16, now I think
Somewhere between 16 and 18 cabins. I think there's 16 original and then they built 2 more. But this one was used as the CCC headquarters, and they used local materials so that they would blend in with the surroundings. I think it looks so cool. And I don't think that door is original because this photo over here shows a different kind of door. But to think that this was built in the 1930s is wild. It's so beautiful. As the sign states, this is one out of 16 cabins that was built by the CCC between 1935 and 1942. In the 1970s, the cabins underwent extensive remodeling to include heating, air conditioning, and kitchens. The CCC is the Civilian Conservation Corps, and it was the first of Franklin D. Roosevelt's national recovery organizations in the 1930s. His mission was to give jobs to the hundreds of thousands of discouraged and unemployed young men, idle through no fault of their own, to build up these men physically and spiritually and start the nation on a sound conservation program. The first of 6 CCC companies was from North Dakota. They arrived on October 20th, 1933. The recreation hall chimney here and the foundation of the camp kitchen are still visible today. This is the beautiful bridge that spans Lee Creek. Honestly, I don't know anything about it other than I like it. I always have to come back for the camera. Let's do part of the Woody Plant trail and the lake trail just to see what's down here. Apparently this part of the hill just fell off. I read that there was a really bad flood here many years ago, so maybe this is part of it, or maybe this is just eroding they see all the time. We are circling back to the Devil's Den Dam, and the decibels this water puts out is crazy. It is so loud here. I've told you about how this dam was built by the CCC men in the 1930s, and it created Lake Devil. Something that I find really interesting are all the tidbits of how the camp actually worked, including their meals. The men could expect meals that included fried French toast and bran flakes for breakfast, and beef stew, mashed potatoes, and buttered turnips for supper. The fact that they built a dam like this with a breakfast of French toast and bran flakes is incredible to me. We are on our way to the Yellow Rock Trailhead, but before we do that, we are going to take a drive through one of the camp areas. Right here on the left is the Yellow Rock Trailhead. We're just going to keep going past that until we see the campground. This is Camp Area A. It has 24 campsites. Here you will also find the Lee Creek Trailhead and the Fossil Flats Mountain Bike Trailhead. What you won't find here are any electrical hookups for your camper, and there are not water spigots at each site, but there is a shared water spigot where you could go fill up your camper or your water jugs. Like I said, there are 24 campsites here, but there are also 8 hike-in tent-only sites. Our camper is not equipped for primitive camping, and honestly, I like a nice plug-in, so if we come back and bring the camper, this is not the camp area for me. I'll let the rest of you brave people have it. We're gonna do the Yellow Rock Trail. We don't know which way we're gonna go because somewhere there's an overlook. We're here.
Oh, there's another one, see?
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so this overlook's not on the trail map. We thought this was the only overlook, but we might go that way.
We'll have a lot of time before sunset and driving back to Chester, so we don't want to get too far into the loop and then make it dark.
Let's just see where we go.
Okay. So I think Devil's Racetrack must be one of the bike monument trails. I think this is the symbol, if I'm correct, for the monument
I think you're
trail.
right.
So I think the bike trail is crossing over Yellow Rock here. Wow, look left, bud. That's amazing. Lots of layers.
Apparently there is a cave here. Maybe, oh, the cold air coming out of it. Maybe there was a time when you could go in it.
Yeah, and then the bat disease has closed it all down. Ooh, that looks tight anyway.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to go down in there. Even if that was open, I would not want to go in there. Apparently this is how some people hike.
It just keeps going and there's a dead end you just can't see.
Is it just a slope down, not too far?
No, there's no drop off. It's just
It drops a little bit. I'm saying it gets a little bit lower.
Yeah, just barely.
Okay.
And then you can tell. See, you can tell there's a dead end back there.
Okay, I see that. I just didn't know how
It
far the
barely
floor.
dips, but it isn't a hole.
Okay. Right?
I know, I'm looking.
How was I water?
CCC Trail. Yeah. Whoa, we really climbed, babe.
Yeah, I know. We're not sure if this is the actual overlook or not, but this is the view we found of Lee Creek.
It's not marked, so we're not sure.
We found a sign. Oh, here we go. Yellow Rock Overlook, this way.
So this will be the real overlook.
Yeah.
What's that for?
So we realized that the overlook is way, like we have to go around like way over on that other part of the mountain, and we are fighting sunset right now, and we have a long way back to the car. So we're gonna just keep hiking and see how far we can get. Like, we're going all the way to this point. We're gonna hike up here around the bend and see, you know, how much further it looks on from there. But, you know, the trail map doesn't give mileage, and so you really don't have any way of knowing. We talked about how we should probably download the All Trails map, but we usually don't hike with our phones out. We've never needed it, but in this instance, it would have been helpful. A lot of water down here. Anyway, we're just gonna keep going and see what we can see and see how far it's gonna be. I can hear water up here, so I don't know if there's a waterfall, but we're gonna go a little bit further, not push it, because I do not want to hike down in the dark. Okay, new development. We realized that we probably have to go on this trail and all the way over there and then way out of sight to get to that overlook, so that's not happening. Someday we will return and do this whole trail, but we will start in the morning when we're not racing the sunset, because it looks like it would be a really awesome trail with a lot of good views. So we shall return, because we did 7 hollows on Petit Jean and we hiked for 4 hours because it's multiple miles. So this is nothing for us. It's just we don't want to do it in the dark. That is the overlook that we were hoping to see. Next time, for sure. Well, we did as much as we could, and I've got the pictures to prove it. Because if you don't take a photo, it didn't happen. Am I right? Or am I right? We always like to drive through campgrounds even if we aren't currently camping. That way we can kind of get a lay of the land and see if we want to bring our camper back. I like these spots to the left because a lot of them are on the creek. Another bonus is that this camp area is shady, and if you've ever camped in Arkansas in the summer, you know the importance of every single shade tree around your campsite. Just from our drive-through point of view here, I'm gonna say that each one of these campsites has water and electric. I don't think they have sewer because they did have a dump station at the beginning of this camp area, but at least they have water and electric, and it looks like they have trash cans spread throughout. And if you have ever camped at a Corps of Engineer campground that only gives you a dumpster at the gate, you know how nice and convenient it is to have a trash can in the camp area. Here on the right are some of, actually no, I think that was a bathhouse, but right now on the right are some of the camper cabins. I would actually like to come back and try these because they do have air conditioning. That's pretty much it, so you would have to bring your sleeping bags or your cot, whatever it is that you want. But their location is prime right here by the creek. Today we're saying goodbye to Devil's Den State Park and this terrible rutty bridge. Even though the driving conditions on this bridge are terrible, I am gonna miss it, and this view, and this state park. I will put all the information that you need about where we stayed at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester in the description so that you can check it out and stay there and use it as a jumping off point to explore Devil's Den State Park as well if you're not wanting to camp. As for us, we're gonna call it a day. We've had a great time exploring this area of Arkansas for the last 2 days, and now we're gonna move on to a new location. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe.
Thank you so much for watching. And we hope to see you around the natural state.